the damage that I did. Would you love me less? No, 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 no.
What's up, everybody? My name is now I'm gonna send it.
Y'all ain't know why, right?
Love that on that beat.
Let's go. No masterpiece. Hey. 10 bad babs and they after me.
Bad.
One bad bad look like a masterpiece. Looking for a dunk like an athlete. Big drip, what you call it? Big drip. Ice chain, peeled water.
Ice, ice, ice.
You got the cab, but can't afford them.
Cash.
All right, guys, welcome to sports. First off, we're going to be talking about the NHL.
Okay, let's start in the New York. We're going to recap the second round series, and then we're going to get into our predictions for the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. So we're going to go in order that the series ended. So we're going to start with Carolina versus New York. The Islanders got swept. They swept Pittsburgh in the first round, and they got swept in the second round. So what are your thoughts on them getting swept? Carolina's hot right now. So
Yeah, I feel like Carolina has been playing super well, and I think that they're going to just keep playing well through the rest of the tournament.
Yeah. So Robin Leonard, the Islanders goalie, on Twitter, he said that not the ending we wanted, and he said he's so proud of that of this group, and just talked about how good their season was because they weren't expected to be as good as they were. They lost John Tavares last year to free agency to Toronto. He was like their franchise player, and he went home to Toronto. So just for them to be the number 2 seed in the Metro, come back and play good, and win their first round series against Pittsburgh. Like, they had a great season, but they just caught Carolina at the wrong time, got swept.
Yep, throughout the season they've played well, but Carolina, like you said, is just on a hot streak, so
Yeah.
they're playing super well.
Okay, now we're going to move to the Boston versus Columbus series. Boston wins this series in 6, and the biggest thing for Carolina is Artemi Panarin, Matt Duchene, and Sergei Bobrovsky. Arguably their 3 best players are all free agents this summer, and people are speculating, are they going to re-sign in Columbus or are they going to go somewhere else? Because Columbus has only won 1 playoff series in their history, and that was against Tampa this year. But do the guys want to go somewhere else and have a winning culture, or are they all going to stay?
I feel like if they do stay, I feel like next year they'll be even better than they are this year. But if they do choose to leave, next year's going to be a tough season.
Yeah, they just snuck into the playoffs this year, and a big part of it was Panarin and Bobrovsky and Duchene. Duchene was a great deadline acquisition for Columbus, so we'll have to see how that goes. And then also their coach, John Tortorella, promised a Game 7 after Game 5. Boston won Game 5. John Tortorella promised a Game 7. He didn't get that promise. Boston moved on after getting a shutout in Game 6. Next up, we got the Stars Blues. This game went 7. A great series. Game 7 was amazing in St. Louis. We start with the Stars. Ben Bishop took 54 shots in Game 2 or Game 7, and he stopped 52 of them. Kind of an unlucky bounce on the double OT winner by Pat Maroon. It went off the post, and then Pat Maroon was able to find it behind Ben Bishop. But a great season for the Stars. Another team that people didn't really expect to make it as far in the playoffs, and they did good.
I feel like, yeah, they played super well. They didn't play well at the beginning of the season, but throughout the season they started getting better, and then they made it as far as they did in the playoffs, which is very impressive.
So now let's go to the Avalanche. The Avalanche versus San Jose series. The Colorado Avalanche lose it in 7 to San Jose, and San Jose played a great Game 7, and the biggest turning point of that game, San Jose is up 3-1, and Colorado, or 2-1, I think, and Colorado thinks they tied it up, but San Jose challenged it for offsides, and Gabriel Landeskog ended up being offsides. There's a lot of talk about was that offsides or not. Some people think Gabriel Landeskog's foot was on the line, and then in the post-game interview, Gabriel Landeskog said, "That's my fault. I got to be better. I have to live with that all summer because it was my mistake."
To be honest, there are so many people that did think it was offsides, and I had to agree that I think it was offsides. But all of those people, they made a fair point. It was very, very close. So.
Okay, now let's move on to our third round matchups, the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. We'll start in the East with Boston versus Carolina. So Carolina swept the Islanders. They had 6 days rest in between their Game 1 game against Boston. That was last night. And then Boston played Game 6, had 2 days off before Game 1 last night. And Game 1, Boston wins it 5-2. Tuukka Rask played amazing, as he has all series. Some interesting facts we got. Charlie McAvoy was suspended for Game 1 after an illegal hit to the head. Steven Kampfer was his replacement last night. He scored the opening goal of the night less than 5 minutes into the game. Then Tuukka Rask, in the second round against Columbus, he only allowed 6 goals on 137 shots in the 4 wins that Boston had in the second round, which is insane. He played out of his mind all series. A lot of people think Tuukka Rask isn't a great goalie, and a lot of people in Boston give him grief about like stuff that he does. So, but Tuukka Rask is an amazing player. He's won the Vezina before, which is the best goalie in the NHL. He's an amazing player. And then going on, talking about awards, Patrice Bergeron, who's nominated for the Selke this year, he's already won 4 of them, which is tied for the record. He is nominated for his 5th this year, and he has the record for most in a row that he has been nominated for. The reason why he's nominated for the Selke, the best defensive forward in the NHL, is a cool fact about the first 2 rounds of the series. There was only 4 5-on-5 goals scored on Patrice Bergeron by the top 3 players for the Maple Leafs and the top 4 players for Columbus. In 236 minutes on the ice against them. So when Patrice Bergeron was up against Artemi Panarin, Matt Duchene, John Tavares, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Cam Atkinson, and Boone Jenner, they played 236 minutes 5-on-5 against Patrice Bergeron, only scored 4 goals, which is insane.
It's incredible. He's an amazing goalie, and
He's a forward.
I mean, he's an amazing forward. My bad. He's an amazing forward. He's just an impressive player.
So let's get some predictions on this series. I have Boston in 5. I think that Peter Mrazek is back. He hadn't played in 11 days last night. Boston wins at 5-2. I think Boston's just too good. I think Columbus and Toronto were better. And then for the other series, St. Louis versus San Jose, I have St. Louis in 7.
All right. So thanks for watching. Talking about the NHL. We're going to have a commercial, and then we'll move it on to lacrosse. NBA.
Yeah, NBA. Thanks.
If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
Another day, another dawn, another day, another dawn, another day. Coast to coast and in between the stars, skies, and gold.
All right, guys, welcome back to sports. So right now, we're going to talk about lacrosse. So first off, we're going to talk about the Tewaaraton. The Tewaaraton is pretty much like the Heisman for lacrosse. So the Tewaaraton finalists are T.D. Erlin, Pat Spencer, Grant Ammett, Michael Sowers, and Jared Bernhardt.
Pat Spencer is the favorite to win the Tewaaraton.
He is. He's an amazing player. He plays for Loyola, and he has done some amazing things with that program. They haven't had an amazing program in the past. They've had a good program, but he has turned it into something else. And so there are some highlights that we're going to watch of Pat Spencer and just see how amazing of a player he actually is. All right, so right here, they are playing Rutgers. He has some amazing goals. He came around crease and finished right in between the legs of Rutgers' goalie. This year, they have implemented the crease dive, and he has definitely taken advantage of that. He's one of the most athletic lacrosse players in the country, and he has taken advantage of the crease dive and the 80-second shot clock. So next up, we're going to talk about TD Ierlan, who's another amazing player. Last year, he played for Albany, and this year, he transferred and went and played for Yale. So he's a face-off guy, and he is probably the best face-off guy in the whole country.
Okay. I have a question about the transfer rules in lacrosse. Is it like
Yes.
football where there's like a transfer portal and basically you can just like transfer and then you can play the next year? If you're a graduate transfer, if you're not, you can't. You have to sit a year. Is it just like that? Just like in
Yes, it's
football?
like that. So actually, you can pretty much just transfer. There's not a deadline or anything, so like you have to transfer before or right after the season ends, but you can still transfer to whatever team you want, and so yeah. So like we were talking about, TD Ierlan transferred to Yale. He is an amazing player. He face-offs. He's the best face-off guy in all of college lacrosse this year. Last year, Trevor Baptiste, who's known as the best face-off guy in all of lacrosse, he went and beat Trevor Baptiste. I think they took 24 face-offs in all, and he beat them in 23 of the 24 face-offs, which is very, very impressive. So next up, we're going to be talking about the tournament. So in the tournament, the ranked seeds so far are Penn State, Loyola, Yale, Penn, Virginia, Towson, Notre Dame, and Duke. So what do you think about Penn State?
They're the 1 seed, so they're obviously good.
Yeah, they're a great
Yeah.
team. Nobody expected them to be an amazing team this year, but nobody expected them to be amazing. But through their coaching and through some of the new freshmen they got this year, they have been incredible. So there are some highlights that we're going to watch of Penn State and them just being an amazing team this year.
Okay.
So right here, he comes around crease, and it was just like that Pat Spencer goal we saw earlier. It just comes around crease and hits top corner. So this team is an amazing team. They work together very, very well. So there's lots of feeds and lots of good assists that they have. So right there is another example of an assist. And then they're a great team. There's a behind the back pass right there. And they're just amazing. So next up, we're going to be talking about Loyola, who is the team Pat Spencer plays for. They're a great team, and everybody expected them to just be a little bit better than they were this year. So, and then another thing is Duke. Duke is the number 2 seed in the tournament, and there have been a few complaints about Duke being the number 2 seed. But
They only lost 4 games this year, but they were all to good teams. So
they've beat a lot of good teams too, like Towson, Virginia, Loyola, and Denver. So that's very impressive. So going back to Loyola, they are a super good team. They have the best offense in college lacrosse with Pat Spencer and many of the other attackmen they have. Pat Spencer has the most points in all of college lacrosse this year, which is incredible. And I think that Pat Spencer's a senior, and so I think that next year Loyola isn't going to be as great, you know?
yeah.
All right, so next up, we're going to be moving to basketball. So, with basketball, there are lots of great things that have been going on. The Celtics have been playing great.
No, they lost to Milwaukee.
No, I know, listen.
Okay.
The Celtics have been playing great. The Milwaukee Celtics,
Milwaukee Celtics.
the Milwaukee versus Celtics was a great tournament game. The Celtics were playing great, but they just didn't have enough to beat Milwaukee.
Yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a great player, and he's obviously I think he's the best player in basketball. So, just Kyrie didn't seem attached to the Celtics. A lot of people are speculating that he's going to move on from the Celtics this year and go somewhere else because he's a free agent. And Giannis is an amazing player. Probably he might win MVP.
My
Him
guess
or Harden.
is, yeah. He's probably the best player that made it to the playoffs this year in the NBA. He's 7 foot tall, great at defense. His his weakness is his shooting, but he can still do that amazing.
Yeah. And he's a very he's a very strong player. There's some pictures of him on the web where he was when he came into the league, he was really small, and now looking at his picture, you can see how muscular he is and just how much stronger he has gotten as a basketball player, being in the NBA, and like his work ethic is like second to none.
All right, so next up, we're gonna move to the next game, or next set of games, the next series. So,
so Philly versus Toronto. I believe they're going to 7 tonight, or Philly won last night to force a game 7. Kawhi Leonard has been playing amazing. Ben Simmons has been okay, but Joel Embiid has really taken over for Philly. Kawhi Leonard has really taken over for Toronto.
Definitely. Kawhi Leonard has been playing very well, and so has Joel Embiid. So we're gonna. Thanks for watching sports. See you guys
We're
next time.
gonna take it over to Nate.
If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy.
Another day, another dawn, another day, another dawn, another day. Coast to coast and in between the stars, skies, and gold. This is
Everybody, thanks for watching the sports segment. We're going to build on to the trending segment with Kaylee and Emily. Okay, so I don't know what they're doing. Looks pretty exciting, and so I think it should be a pretty good segment. And so,
I'm a rebel just for kicks. I've been feeling it since 1966.
Hi, I'm Kaylee. And I'm Emily. And welcome to Trending.
Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks.
Hi guys, welcome to Trending. My name's Kaylee, and today we have a Mother's Day themed trending segment today. So we are going to be making some little gifts so you can give to your mom for Mother's Day.
Yeah, so let's get started with some mug brownies. I don't know about you, but I love brownies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So for ingredients, they're pretty small increments because you have to put it in the microwave and you don't want it to explode everywhere, so you got to be careful.
Yeah.
So first you need to do is a fourth of a cup of flour.
So yeah, we have all of our ingredients here, and we are just gonna make a nice little mug cake that you can give to your mom on Mother's Day.
So excited. Okay. Now when you do get all of your supplies, you want to make sure you have a pretty tall glass, because if you don't, it's going to explode in the microwave and you do not want to clean that up.
This is true.
Okay.
So this gift is definitely a really good one if you don't really know what to get your mom. I mean, who doesn't love a good brownie, am I right?
Yeah, exactly. And like, it's only for once, so it shouldn't be too bad to make, and it's really, really easy to do too.
Yeah.
So next you want to take a fourth of a cup of sugar. And I'm just using some white sugar. Don't use brown sugar, that'd be bad.
You always gotta add a good amount of sugar, am I right?
Oh yeah.
Sugar and spice and everything nice.
Spoonful of sugar. Love Mary Poppins. Okay,
All right,
next
what's
you want to do
next?
2 tablespoons of cocoa. Do you want to do that?
I would love to. 2
Okay.
tablespoons?
Tablespoons. Don't do teaspoons, you want to do tablespoons.
Okay, here I have my cocoa.
Yep. For our thing, we just made a Hershey's. We use Hershey's cocoa, and that's my favorite cocoa, but just whatever your preference is, as long as it is cocoa. Else,
Okay, here we
Yeah.
go.
you can go 1.
2 tablespoons, you said?
Yep, 2 of them.
Okay. So, Emily, what are your plans for this Mother's Day? Do you have any, what are you going to give your mom?
Definitely going to make her this brownie mug cake. It's so
That
good.
is a good idea.
It's my favorite treat.
Yeah, I don't know what to get her. I might have to make this too.
Yeah, and it's not too hard to make either. You can like pour it up. Yep, there you go.
There we
Okay,
go.
smooth. Nice. All right.
Okay.
Next, you want to take 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, and when you do it, I'm just taking 1/4 of a teaspoon, And I'm only gonna fill it up about halfway to make sure that it's not too much or not too little. Don't use baking powder. You wanna make sure you use baking soda.
Yeah, they're pretty different. Make sure you
Very,
use the right
very
one.
important. Okay, a little of that. All right, next you wanna take your salt.
Okay, and how
Just
much salt are
an
we
eighth
using
of that.
today?
So just use half of that. You wanna do that?
I'd love to.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty nice. We have all of our ingredients laid out here. I would not recommend just having a ton of like big containers. Just these small little things are pretty nice.
Yeah.
Okay, salt is in.
With your siblings, this would be a really fun thing to do with your
yeah, for sure.
siblings because it's like just little.
Especially for little siblings, because you know they don't really, they can't really buy a gift for your mom, but it would be good to have them help with this little cake.
Very inexpensive. Next, you want to take 3 tablespoons of milk. We're just gonna go right over the cocoa powder. 1,
Alright.
2, 3. Bingo.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Okay. Next, you want to take 2 tablespoons of oil.
Okay.
All right, I'll do this one.
You got it.
So fast. 1, 2.
Okay.
Oh, spill a little there.
It's all good.
All right, next you want to take 1 tablespoon of water. So we're just gonna use this.
Nice little water bottle here, prepared.
Oh yeah, so nice. Okay, this is gonna look really gross, but I mean, it's all going in the
So
same
how about we
spot.
show them what it looks like right now? So here we just have a kind of a jumble of ingredients.
Try to go, yeah, a little lower. Don't, yeah, it looks really gross.
It looks really gross. We haven't stirred it up yet, so.
You wanna make sure you only go about halfway full with everything you do, or else it's gonna be lovely and not good. Okay, last thing and most important thing, you want 1/4 of a teaspoon of vanilla.
Vanilla is very important.
It's gonna give you that lovely flavoring that is, I love vanilla. I don't even know how to like tell you. I just like it so much. I like the smell of it too.
Vanilla.
Okay, just 1/4 of it.
Okay, and now are we ready to stir it all up?
Yeah, and when you stir it, okay, this is the most crucial part of all of your making. Make sure you stir it so there's no clumps, because if there's clumps, your batter will explode.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And you don't want to clean it up because then it'll be burnt onto your microwave if you're not careful with it.
Yep, so just be sure to stir nice and good.
And
no clumps.
Yeah, if you made brownies before, you should know the kind of consistency you're looking for, just really smooth. And no, it's okay if there's little chunks, but you don't want big air pockets, or else you don't want to clean that up, I promise.
And I would recommend trying to put away most of your ingredients so you don't have a big mess after.
Do you want to switch me spots?
Switch spots.
Sweet.
Just so we don't spill anything.
And if you guys noticed, in the ingredients, we're not using eggs. So it's safe to eat the brownie batter if you're really down for that, like I am. I love brownie batter.
Very nice brownie batter. Okay.
Okay, and then for the microwave, you only have to make it for like 1 minute and 45 seconds, no longer. But when you do put it in the microwave, you want to be careful watching it, because if it starts rising, you want to stop it and pull it out and let it relax so it brings it back down. And then you want to put it back into the microwave and let it keep going, because if it goes over, it's not good, I promise. So excited.
How's it looking right now?
Really good.
Pretty good.
You can
Good
see there's still a little
consistencies.
bit of chunks, but we're going with it. Sorry, it's taking a minute.
So you may not be able to see this, but we've only filled it up to be about halfway so that it
about
doesn't
right
rise too much. And that is a crucial part of making this mug cake.
Okay, you want to switch me spots again?
Love to.
Okay, that looks good to me. What about you, Kaylee?
Pretty good.
Okay, next is the best part. You want to put it in the microwave. And so I'll take this off. Oh my gosh, would you look at that?
Wow.
It's cooked. It's like magic. So right now it's fully done. We let it cool off because it's really hot when it first comes out and you do not want to burn your tongue. So now we're gonna take in our special taste testers and have them try it out for themselves.
So here we have Gabe and Jet coming on,
So
and
excited.
you're gonna try our mug cake.
Okay. There
Go
you go.
for it.
Yeah, you guys have to show it.
Okay, how's it tasting?
It's actually not bad. I expected it to be way worse.
Hey.
And
What are your
It's
thoughts?
actually not bad.
No, it's not bad
scale
at all.
1 to 10.
I'll give it an
I give it an 8
I'm
too.
gonna have some more actually.
Keep going. Okay.
An 8 because it doesn't have ice cream.
Okay,
That's
this-
true. If you
that
put
is
ice
good.
cream on the top, that's a really
That
good
would be good.
Then
hot
we
dogs.
get a 9.
Do you guys think that this would be a good Mother's Day gift?
Yes, breakfast in bed. Well, dessert in bed.
Brownies for breakfast.
Who wouldn't like that, you know?
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. And on to our next little part. So, you can give your mom a nice little mug, and we are also going to teach you how to make a fun little card. So here we have a little heart-shaped hands card, and we're going to teach you guys how to do it real quick. It's really simple, really easy. Okay. So here we have 2 sheets of just nice patterned paper. So do you want to take that one, Emily?
Yeah, and you can get this from your local craft store,
Oh,
or
yeah,
even like
for sure.
Walmart. It's
So-
so inexpensive.
What you're gonna do, this is basically, you're gonna just trace your hands. So I would recommend just placing your hands so you know where you want them on the paper, and then making a little heart shape like this with your hands. But you don't want to have them close together, you want to open, so that
That's really cute.
it'll just be better.
Okay.
Okay,
Do you want me
so
to trace your hands?
I'd love for you to.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go for it.
So this one, you kind of need a partner or a friend to help out.
Definitely
because you
a lot of
obviously
fun.
can't trace your own hands.
Especially with like little siblings. Like,
Oh yeah.
bingo.
Again, this would be super fun with little siblings. Okay, almost there. This is taking me back to like 5th grade. We were making like turkeys.
Gosh, so true. Okay, and then I'll just
Perfect.
like let you decipher what you want to do on the bottom.
That is perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna go this side.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, living on the
All right,
edge.
I'd say put your hands a little
Like
closer.
that?
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Kinda tickles, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Loop de loop. This is kind of fun.
That is kind of fun. A little different.
Okay. Almost there. All right, and
Bingo.
next, you just want to simply cut out your shapes with a
Okay.
pair of scissors.
No, when I was little, my mom used to tell me that I was a pro at cutting, so maybe not to brag, but
Okay. Just nice and easy. Don't be afraid to go slow, because it kind of, you need to be just exact with it.
I think the more like effort you put in it, the more you like let your mom know how much you like love and appreciate her.
It's the thought that counts, really.
For sure.
I love my mom. I'm so excited for Mother's Day. What about you, Emily?
Same here. My mom's like my best friend. I love hanging out
For
with her.
sure. Me and my family always do a nice breakfast together on Mother's Day.
I love
And
that.
yeah.
My mom's not really a breakfast person, so we always make her dinner and let her sit back and relax.
Yeah, that's nice.
Love telling jokes.
Okay. I'm getting pretty close to being done.
Yeah, you are. My goodness.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit your hand.
You're good.
Oh,
This part is a little tedious, but I promise you guys it will be worth it.
I'm gonna cut off this because it's driving me nuts.
Good idea. Okay, and once you get to this part, you can just make a little palm shape. You can cut out the little palms that you have. Okay. All right. So I have this shape here. I don't have the heart cut out yet, but this is what it's looking like so far. Okay, and I think I'm gonna go in from the pointer fingers. Okay.
Oh, that was a big L. Oh, I hurt my finger. Oh no. That's okay. We'll keep going with it.
All right, you guys. So once you're all done with that, you can either just leave it like this or glue it. And I think that is all that we have for today. So be sure to make a little fun card and mug cake for your Mother's Day. Thank you guys so much for watching.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching Topic Was today. We hope you enjoyed it. And make sure to watch next week. See you guys.